I'm beating people in Kansas. I'm harvesting and when most people aren't. And it's interesting that people come in and say, okay, we can do this. You know, we can do this in Wyoming, and that's fun. Everything's tough here. The water's tough, the ground can be tough. I'm blessed, I got good ground, but people have tough ground. And we're working on water issues. People with tough water, tough soil. I advocate a soil transfer. A lot of people don't, and that's where you take out a bank of soil, like you take it down 6 inches here, take it out and compost it, and bring in the soil back in, and then you have the dirt transfer constantly. It's an interesting concept because people just don't like to do that kind of work, but once you've done that, the soil changes totally, and then you're able to grow where you want to grow. Well, we have 3 season crops. We have the winter crops, which is broccoli, spinach, kale, lettuce, radishes, carrots. We're going to look at some cauliflower. In the winter time, in our winter ground, there'll be low tunnels. There'll be 3-foot wide water bottles, and then we push in the kale and radishes and broccoli and more lettuce for the spring harvest. And then in the summer harvest is we try to have peppers and several types of tomatoes, and of course cherry tomatoes. Because we're in a multi-season, we still advocate growing outside. We don't want to grow green beans inside. I mean, green beans is a good crop, but you can't get the square footage. Our goal is to drive the return up on square footage. If you can get a piece of ground in here pushing, $4 to $6 square foot, and you can do that just for 2 seasons. Well, if you push in a 3rd season, that's even more. That's all bonus. The structure's here, you might as well use it. So it's a constant rotation to get that usage out of it. And we've pushed numbers in the $8 or $10 square foot because we've really pushed totes. We got in and done a crop, brought totes in, reconstituted soil, took the totes out, brought other crops right back in. We run our seasons 11 months. And 12th month of 12, we try to take it out of service to completely do the cleaning up, dirt transfer. There's maintenance has to be done inside the structure, the irrigation, change it out. This is a quarantine place. We do not allow anything coming in from outside. We grow over our own dirt. If we bring potting soil in, we have to make sure it's sterilized, it's clean, and we mix it with our potting soil. You'll see the grass plots out there. Each plot's only 25 feet because the irrigation is 25 feet. But there's always a grass plot between that and another plot. Same with here. So that way if weeds get out of control and they hit that grass plot, they stop, and I can then mitigate those weeds in that plot. And we do what's called a burn back. And every year in the fall, before we till any ground, we burn the soil off. We take top in, we'll take grass clippings in, or we'll take in straw, we'll take in hay. We actually burn that plot back. And before we go to a fallow condition, go with green manure crops, we actually try to burn that back. And we can control weeds. Dirt transfer is actually every 2 to 3 years. It depends on the soil condition, what it looks like. Because we know we're pushing a lot of crops in here, and we want to keep fertility up. We know in other shelters, people have problems with fertility and compaction, because you can't plow in here. So we know that. So we built this plan of what we do is we come in, we would till it up totally. And we take our blade, we'd take 4 inches off. Then we would bring in top dressing and till it down 6 inches. Then we'll bring in the top dressing and put it on top and till it in. So now we have that same soil, but the fertility is now deep. It's not in the top 3-4 inches, it's actually now deeper. It's 8-9 inches. And we pull 2 or 3 years off of that. And it's all done on a plan. It's all set up on grids. We always know exactly where the crop is, where it's going, what the next crop is. Our compost is measured. So we use a hog panel, the heavy gauge panels, and we actually put dry as wire. The reason why I use a hog panel is because we know that there's a 6-inch spacing between them. We can put in 6 inches of soil, of manure, 6 inches grass clippings. We can come in with 6 inches of peat moss and coffee grounds and anything else. We can actually measure by percentage that pile is 35% compost, 25% grass clippings. And then what we'll do is we will keep it hydrated, heat it up, cycle it once in our second cycle, and we'll do it again, blend it again. Then we'll take it and use it for a base, for our other compost. We'll use it for a top dressing, bring it inside. And then we will bring it in and we will actually mix it with dirt and make it our top dressing or our replacement dirt as we recycle dirt in and out. And we'll use our compost heap at second cycle. For people who just want to grow for themselves, crop rotation is critical. You can't grow in the same place every year, so you got to live with the fact just because you got 1,500 square feet that's heated and controlled, you can't put in 1,500 square feet of tomatoes and expect to do it year after year. You have to rotate your crops. You have to watch for bugs. You got to be prepared if you hit a bug thing. Actually, take those crops out. I've known people brought in high tones. They went and bought bagged soil. I do not recommend that. If you do bagged soil, you do the soil test. You go in, you put it in your house, put it in trays, and water it. Put the humidity dome on top and watch all the bugs show up. And that'll tell you don't want that in your greenhouse. And they seem to buy, oh, it's rotted cow manure. No, it's not. There's nothing. They're blading it, putting it in the bags and selling it to you. So quarantine and just control your soil so absolute. Well, I've been here 40 years, and I started gardening since I got out of high school. People say, oh my gosh, it's snowing. What are you going to do? And it's always interesting after I get a bad cold spell and snow spell. How'd your greenhouse do? I said, you want lettuce next week? Because it'll be ready next week. Why can't you grow in Gillette? Why can't there be 34 of these structures in a business and growing and shipping food out of here?